Hi everyone, welcome to Anthropology 120, Magic, Witchcraft, and Religion in the Americas. This course runs from this date, June 15th to July 23rd. My name is Professor Mercer. So you're on the Getting Started page, and I've created this for those of you who may not have been introduced to Canvas before. So there's some links down there to help you get started. There's a quick start guide for you to go to. Also, there's links to the very first introductory module, and that introductory module is designed for you to become familiar with the course, and everybody must do it because in that module there's a discussion board. You're going to be able to put up something about yourself and share some information, as well as do a little tiny module quiz so that you basically understand the mechanics of the course, and that'll be worth 10 points to you. Everyone generally does very well. Now, there's also links on this page to the syllabus, and that's really where we want to start out. If anything about getting started, let's go to that 1-2 document. So why don't you go over on the left-hand side to the links category and right-click on the syllabus and bring that thing up in a separate tab, and we'll go through it real quickly just so I can get you quickly oriented to the course and you can know what you're actually in for, right? So here we go. I'll give you 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Okay, so hopefully you're back. All right. So the first thing in the course syllabus that's really important is how to communicate with me. Essentially, this course is being delivered to you asynchronously. And that is, all the lectures that I have are pre-done. Because in the summertime, there just isn't enough time to, do big Zoom conferences, but everyone has such crazy work schedules. In the past, it hasn't worked out for me because no one can get to the Zoom lecture. Everyone's running around doing stuff. So in the summertime, we just prefer, I think, and all the students do, just do asynchronously catch up with the course when you can, in your own sort of time schedule. But that also means that you're going to need some, solid contact with me. Because if you're reviewing stuff and not interacting with me and something doesn't make sense to you, that's the time to get a hold of me. And the best way to do it is not really by email. I would love to get email from you, but let's go down to the voice and text. That's the most important stuff. There's my number, 925-335-6298. Voice, you can actually pick it up and call me. I'll tell you, that's probably the best for you learning. Because if you send me a text, it takes time to do it. You don't get all the information down. But if you call me, we can really talk about where you're at and what the issues are, how I can help you, disabuse any problems, clarify anything. And I can do it right when you're in the middle of an assignment and help you guide yourself through it. So let's try to make voice the primary, but text is fine too. And I understand, particularly young people these days, you guys really do a lot of texting. And that's fine. Just remember, I can't be as effective by text, but I'll try. So when am I available? Well, voice or text, Monday through Friday. I usually will pick up the phone right away, 9 to 5. No issues whatsoever. After 5 in the evening, I don't mind voice or text. It just to figure if I have availability, if I have family issues going on, kids running all over the place. And I'll take, if I'm available, I'll take anything up to 10 o'clock at night. After that, I won't because I'll be asleep. So in the evenings are okay, but I may not be able to pick up. Now, weekends, I'm not prohibiting phone calls. It's not about, disturbing me. So again, it's availability. So if you try to text me or phone me on the weekend, and I don't pick up the call, it's not like I'm not working, I don't care. No, I do care. I love doing this. It just means I'm probably out riding my bike or the kids are doing something. So at the latest, I'll get back to you Monday morning. But chances are, I will get back to you sometime during the weekend. Now, secondarily is the email. You're always welcome to communicate with me by email. And by the way, that's the way most of our assignments are going to be coming in too, like the response papers through the email too. So that one I stay really close attention to. I carry my cell phone, I have the Outlook, and I watch everything. So if you do email me during the daytime, I will be able to respond to you. Now, another important part of the class is how students communicate with each other. We're going to have sort of 2 discussion assignments, so you'll get to know each other that way. But it should also be a people button over in the left-hand side so you can see who's in the class. So if you find friends or people you can always reach out and talk to them. And of course, you're welcome to study put together study groups if you like to also with communicating with each other. I think that's really a great idea. All right, let's look at what's required for the course. And I think people are thinking about texts, right? So if you scroll down through all the resources here, So you see all the different student resources, you'll see the texts. All right, so the required texts. The first one is Magic, Witchcraft, and Religion by Stein and Stein. This is the book right here. I think there's e-copies of it out there. This book is a great reference book. It's like a mini encyclopedia. We're not going to be reading it cover to cover. I would never do that to you because, frankly, it's boring. But it's a great way to find the keywords and things that are stumping you. And auxiliary information. I do want you to read the first 2 chapters. They're really pretty good. Other than that, this is our reference go-to book, so don't worry about having to go to that tome in the 39 days in which this course is being presented, okay? But you need to have a good reference book. Second book is Monsters, Evil Beings, Mythical Beasts, and All Sorts of Imaginary Terrors. I love this book. It introduces to monsters and religion, extremely important. We'll be perusing about 4 chapters in this book, and you'll need this right really soon. The first module kind of kicks off within a week. So within a week you need to have this book. Make sure you get it. This is a great and fabulous text. Okay, those are the only 2 texts you have to buy. Now there is a video series we're watching in the class, and I can't find access to it except through Amazon. It's entitled The Power of Myth. It was a series that Bill Moyer, who's a television host on PBS, interviewed one of the greatest mythologists of all time, Joe Campbell, and he did a 6th series on PBS. It was the most watched episodes of all PBS history. A fabulous series. We're going to be watching 4 of those episodes. So there's a link down there how to get it to Amazon. You have to pay for it. I'm sorry, I can't find any other way. I think it's $2 per episode. I have Amazon Prime. That's what they're going to charge me. So I think that's what it is to everyone, but you can check. All right. So there's the link to it. That's the only video access payment you have to sort of make. I have other videos, which I'm going to be providing that I have access to that you don't have to pay for, as well as some other texts. I put some PDFs on the site, and those are going to be our main readings. The textbooks I've given you so far, they're the mainstay for reference reading, sort of ideas to look stuff up into. But the main thing that this course is being driven by are the papers that I put up. And the reason I've done them is because these papers over the last 10 years are the ones that show up on my students' favorite sort of feedback. I'll give you a feedback sort of questionnaire at the end of the course. And generally you'll be able to rank the readings from 0 to like 10. Over the last 10 years, I've had a lot of 0s. And I've eliminated for the course, and I've kept the 10. So hopefully the readings that I have are going to be ones that you're going to like too, because other students have. But again, at the end of the course, if you don't like those readings, please do let me know. But I think your confidence should be high that they're really sort of very interesting. All right. Okay, so let's go to the grading. You're interested in that, I'm sure. It's 300 points. I don't do it like I don't look at a paper and go B. No, I think that's really too subjective. I have a very good rubric about how I grade things. And really in this course, which is driven by 3 midterm quizzes, which are on the Canvas, and it takes the subjective nature sort of out of it. So I put it on a point scale. So you'll have 3 quizzes, multiple choice quizzes, and they're worth 40 points each, or 120 points. You have 1 final examination or final quiz. It's worth 100 points. The final is an essay-based question. Okay? And you have 2 critical thinking papers. These are short essay response papers to things that you're looking at in class, and this should be really fun. You should be really creative with these things. 1 discussion that you're going to be having, and that'll happen pretty soon, on basically some things which you've seen about magic, witchcraft, and religion. That's worth 10 points. And the orientation module. So your orientation module, complete that, is 10 points. That brings you to a total of 300 points for the class. Typically, 45 to 50% Bs, 24 to 28% As, and about 15% maybe Cs in the course. So it's pretty much in line with what I teach during the rest of the regular semesters. Okay, adds and drops. Make sure you watch those ads and drop days. Just make sure they're easy. They're right on the admin page. If you can't find them, email me. I will give you the last days to drop with W's and non-W's, or even withdraw with the course. But hit me up with that through the email, and I can do it for you. I'll let you know. All right. So let's get down to the schedule real quickly so you can look at how it's sort of structured. The bulleted points are just the subjects we're looking at, and below is the sequence of things to do, right? So the first thing you're going to do is a video, Power of Myth. The second one is read Steinstein 1 and 2. And there it is. You see where the third one is? It says reference, Steinstein reference. Anytime you see reference, I mean, don't read it. It means it's there in case you're fuzzy about the information. It's like there you can look up some terms if you want in that chapter. It's like I pointed you where to go to in the encyclopedia, but don't read the encyclopedia. Right? Now, your first discussion response is coming up. You see that one? So your first module, and I'm going to place the date in which we're going to be entering that. You have like 3 or 4 days to enter the discussion. And it's a survey of magic, witchcraft, and religion, what you've seen and how it's impressed you in certain ways. So it'll allow you to share some of your opinions and some of your reactions to things in which you've seen. All right. So this is sort of the format that we're going to have. You can see sort of the rhythm of video and readings. Now, what is not in there are my mini lectures. I'm going to be putting mini lectures on videos, which you're going to see in the assignments list in the modules, as well as PowerPoints I'm going to produce. And the PowerPoints I produce have embedded sound files. They're not just things you to look at. When you open up a PowerPoint, when you go slide by slide, you'll hear my voice lecturing on the material. So there'll additionally be, PowerPoint video lectures to help you. Many of the readings I'm going to have, I'm going to open and give you a preface to the reading to point you again in the direction of what's actually in there to assist you. So it won't be hunt and peck. I'll tell you what's really important in the readings. And I want you to consider this when you're preparing to do this course. None of these readings are there for you to memorize, right? I want you to get the big idea about what's going on. So, when I have quizzes on these things, it's really, what is the big idea? There's just not enough time in a summer course, and with the type of readings, the assortment, we want to get to an assortment of readings which demonstrate the scope of magic and witchcraft and religion. But the readings are not going to be too detailed, so don't get overwhelmed by this. I've got to look through the chapters, see the main points and main ideas, but I'll help you and I'll cue you in those with videos. All right. So first thing to do, I want you to get started with the orientation module, and then go down to the learning module, and then you'll see a video like this one, and I can give you an introduction to what you're going to be doing first. All right.